मेरे को वो लगता है जो ना होस्ट
मैं करता हूँ, कर दूंगा। चालू हो गया है।
कितना कम हो गया?
2 लोग आ गए हैं।
बस
3 4 व्हाट्सएप खोल लो ना। Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Hari. Good evening, Srinivas.
Yeah, good evening, Rahul. Rahul, right?
Yeah. Srinivas, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I think you are Srinivas's daughter.
Yeah, Akanksha.
Okay, hi Akansha. You can rename yourself if you can do that.
Father uses it for official meetings, so
No
I
issues.
had to.
No issues. Yeah. You need to mute. It's echoing. We'll just start in another 2 to 3 minutes, waiting for people to join in. Hi Rajnikant.
Hey, hi Rahul. How are you?
All doing good. Excited for today's session.
Yes.
There's a heavy echo from your end, Rajnikant.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's because of the fan. Maybe I need to reduce the volume.
Mute.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Pragya.
Hi, Hari. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good. So, how was your experience after our last session?
Yeah, it was great. Actually, everybody interacted. Some were there, they did not get a chance. I think today we can give a chance to them.
Yeah, we actually try to give more and more people chance, but as the number increases, it somehow becomes difficult. And that's one reason that people have to be active and they need to raise their hands if they need to get that chance.
Correct.
That's where the whole work of today's session starts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we're just waiting for 2-3 minutes for a little more people to join in. It's still 3 minutes waiting according to our watch. So we'll just wait for those 3 minutes and then we'll start with the session.
Sure. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Srinivas. How are you? Sorry, Akanksha. Yes, I always forget.
Good. Thank you, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Your schools have started?
No, not yet, ma'am. We aren't even having the online classes.
Oh, is it? You're from which place?
Hyderabad.
Okay. So which school are you going to?
St. Anne's High School.
Oh, that's good. I've heard a lot about that school. It's quite an experience I've heard there. Nice. Who's with the name of Saloni Jain? You know?
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Saloni.
Yeah. Hi.
How are you?
Good.
And you, what do you do?
I'm studying BBA.
Great. So I hope this will be a good experience for you, Saloni, because today's session is,
Yeah,
as you can see, it's on confidence.
yeah.
Great. Hi, Rajnikant. How are you?
Hi, Pragya. Hi, I'm
Hi.
Swapna. How are you?
This is.
Yeah, Swapna, Rajnikant's
Oh,
wife.
oh, great. So today Rajnikant is not attending the session. You are?
No, he'll also attend. Both of
Oh, it's a family session.
Yeah.
Great. I hope you liked our last session, and we are really looking forward to you
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
more from this one.
Yes, Pragya.
Great.
Would request everyone to please switch on your videos so that we are while we are doing the session also, it will be great to have an interaction by looking at your videos as well. Still, we'll be using the chat also because there will be a lot of questions that we'll be posing, and you can reply your answers on the chat. Can I request Galaxy A30 and Galaxy J2 to rename yourself so that while we're calling your names, we can refer to you?
My name is Akash.
Hey Akash, can you rename yourself or should I do that?
Yeah, you can do that, please.
Okay, and who's Galaxy J2?
जुड़ा जुड़ी वाला काम थोड़े कर रहे हैं.
Hello. Galaxy J2? I think I've unmuted them in the wrong time. Let's wait for them to respond. Okay. Swati Naveen, Neha Gupta. Should we begin?
So I think it's already time. We should start it. Are all the people the ones who have attended our last session, or there are few new people over here? Can I please know? Either you can ping on the chat or you can turn on your video and speak. Have you all attended?
Hello, I'm Deepika.
Hi, Deepika.
Hello. Hi. I am first time attending this.
Okay.
My first. Okay.
No problem. Yeah. And is there anybody else who has not attended the last session?
Hello, I'm Vandan Jain. I'm attending the first session.
Great. Who else is there?
Yeah, even this is my first session. I'm Akash.
Okay. Hi, Akash. So for all the people who are joining for the first time, I'll give you a small brief which we did in the introductory session. Not wasting others' time also, I'll just brief you in 2 minutes. I hope all are okay with that. And I would request all of you to please turn on your videos so that you know that we can interact and we know we are not talking to closed cameras. And even if your houses are in mess, we don't mind because everybody is going through the same corona stories.
So you have an option to change your background as well. So
yeah, so people who want to change, they can. Otherwise, being a mom of two, I'm pretty accepting to everything that comes.
probably I can guide others as well on the call to change their background.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, then we can let you know the option of changing your backgrounds in case you want.
Something like what you see on my background.
I think that's a limitation that the people have when they're using a laptop only. I guess most of people are on a mobile phone. So even in whatever be the case, we are still okay to look at all the beautiful faces.
And that's why I have kept a white wall so that you don't see what all background I have in my house right now with too many.
That's a play safe game, Pragya.
Yeah, kind of. So, hello everybody. This is Pragya from Living Life, and I'll just give you a small brief as to what is it all about. Living Life is something that we started in 2005. It was started by Mr. Rahul Jain, as you can also see him on your screen, I suppose. And it's been a 14-year-long journey of coming to this place where we are now giving online sessions because of the lockdown. Although we also give offline sessions on training centers. And we have been going to corporates, colleges, and other institutions to deliver our seminars. Our seminars and workshops range from communication skills and facilitations to motivational speaking and much more. It's a very wide area that we cover. And in an introductory session, we have also told people that we also go for personal coaching, personal counseling, and much more. So if anybody of you who's looking for specifically personal coaching or counseling for their communication skills or some problems which they are facing and you want an ear to listen to, we have all in our umbrella. So this is a particular series that we have started because of this quarantine. Now when we know that everybody is pretty comfortable with Zoom, we have started giving these free sessions online. Although we have some sessions, some programs, design and workshops, those are paid. But right now for next 2 months, all these kind of the sessions which come under this particular series are all free. So you are all free to forward it to your near and dear ones. They can come, attend. And this particular series will have things which will range from kids to people who are, whatever age brackets they are in. So it doesn't matter that it is catering only to one particular bracket or to one particular gender or anything. So today's series is all about confidence, as you would have seen in the flyer which you would have got, or whatever, maybe you've got on WhatsApp or through Facebook. For explaining what this is all about, I would ask Mr. Rahul to explain the details of the whole thing.
Okay. Good evening once again, everyone. It is indeed an exciting time to be here online, sharing the programs that we have been doing for years in closed rooms, with now open to a lot of people online. With this series, what we are planning to do is we are into, broadly speaking, life skills training, which basically covers a wide range of topics. And among them, one of the first elements that we'll be dealing with is the confidence, because that is where every story starts and most of the story ends, because some people lack that confidence in the story and the journey never kickstarts. So in this series, what we are going to do is we are talking about how we can build a confidence within ourselves and how we can drive our lives to the next step by being confident, and we can build in situations, despite the different situations or setbacks that we face, how we can recoup and build our own confidence levels across this time. So before we begin this, let me share with you a story. The story is of that of an old man in his 60s, and after all his hard work across his life, he was devastated with some setbacks and failures in his life. And that's where he lost his entire financial freedom. He lost his entire finances and came down to roads. He was almost on the verge of bankruptcy. And that's where, on one fine day, he was sad and sitting in a park waiting for some miracle to happen. And that's where a man just passing by stood by him and just asked him, what is he doing? And right away, after he shared his basic problem that he was into such a crisis, the person handed him a check worth $5 million. And that's when this person took the check and was wondering, how is it that a person who doesn't even know me clearly just understands the problem that I'm in, and he hands me over $5 million and he trusts me with that? Going back with a full of energy, with that trust that someone is bestowed upon him, and with that $5 million, he went back and decided that if someone can trust me, if someone can believe in me just by knowing me for 5 minutes, why is it that I can't believe in myself? And that's where he decided not to use that 5 million check and just kept it in his pocket all through this while. And that's when tables started to turn. He started to recover his losses. He started to make amends to the mistakes that he made. And that's where he started to regain his entire confidence and started his life afresh. And he succeeded from there on. But always kept that $5 million check in his pocket. A few days later, he saw a policeman carrying that person who handed him that check. And he went on to his rescue. That's when this person, the police people told him that this person is mad and he doesn't have a single penny by himself, and he's handing over checks to people worth millions without anything in his bank account. And that's where this person realized that it is all about what you're thinking, what you're believing in yourself, and how you are believing in yourself, having that confidence in yourself is what that matters. Because he did not encash that check. He just began with the thought process, with the idea that he can do a lot of things. And that's where it all started, not the help that he got. So with that, I would just like to begin. I would just like to begin with this session and hand over to Pragya to take over the proceedings.
Rahul, I hear some background noise, Rahul.
Okay.
From where it is. If somebody is not on mute, I request them to go on mute, please.
Can you mute your video? Okay. Hari, is it solved a little bit?
Yeah, it is solved.
Not completely. At times I get that background noise.
Okay. Now?
No, the voice is clear, just that some background noise, Pragya.
Background noise. There's no.
I think it is okay. It is okay now. It sounds better.
No, it is okay.
Better now? Hari, it's better now?
Yes. Thank you so
I would
much.
request all of you to please stay muted as we go ahead with the session. And we heard a beautiful story from Rahul. There's some words which come to my mind, which Mark Twain said. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. And confidence is something that provides you with that. Till the time you are comfortable with yourself, you're not looking for others' approval for yourself, you will always walk on your way to success. So first thing for any format of success is confidence. And that's what the whole session would be today about. Before starting the whole session, I have a few questions. What is it that made you feel at any point of time in your life through which you lost your confidence? Anything that happened, you can type it in your chat boxes. There's chat box option there, so you can type it over there. Any one point where you felt that I've lost my confidence because of this thing. Prefer giving not too long sentences, one word answers, so that we can easily pick through that. Anything where you felt that this is something which happened and after this I lost my confidence. You can just chat it in the chat window in case, or if anybody wants to speak, they can raise their hand, so we'll switch on the audio for them. So we have got one which says stage fear. It is from Rohan. We have when you are demotivated. It says what others think about me when I'm speaking during my early days in college. That was the time when he felt a loss of confidence. Public speaking in English. Okay, any more? Any more? Or is it that most of the people feel that they are quite confident and there's nothing ever has happened in their life where they felt broken, they felt a low self-esteem, lost? Okay, we have got one more. Also, when you become too much conscious about your surroundings. Great. So thank you for all your replies over this. According to me, there are few breakers, I would say, which give a halt. I would not say that it's broken, but that gives a halt to our confidence. Few of them, as you can see, are the setbacks that you have had or the failures which you have had in your past life. Another important point is critics, external or internal. We would explain this further. There are innate fears and beliefs that we have and challenging environments. So whatever the points which we have put here can be broken down into all these 4 segments. Our real confidence is broken when we have faced something or any kind of failure in our past life and we are stuck to it. Have any one of you faced anything like this before? Where you have faced a failure or a setback and you got stuck there and you did not have the confidence to take that next step? Please write it in the chat box. I'm sure everybody faces some kind of failures. It can be as small as like not able to open a door which you have closed. It can be as small, but that can also create fear in you for some journeys. So please write down if you have faced any of such fears of setbacks or failures. See guys, till the time you all open, I will never be able to interact with you. This is an interactive session. We really don't want to make it a classroom lecture. So the more you reply to us, the more we'll be able to handle whatever you have faced and more will be able to explain what better you can do for future. So whatever thing comes to your mind, the first step for it is the confidence to write it down, to take it on you that yes, I have done this thing and I can accept it in front of everybody. That's the first level of confidence. So please write us down whatever failures or setbacks you have faced. If you have not faced any failures, okay, so there's Rashmita Jaina who says, I faced such situations. And we also have Deepika who says that, yes, she has faced some beliefs. Great. So as we know that each one of us has faced any of these 4 situations, it is very important to understand as to how we can work on it. What was the loop because of which this thing came up, right? I can see somebody raising their hand. Can you please unmute? Yeah, it's Rashmita. Yeah, Rashmita, tell me, what was the situation that you faced? And I'm really proud that you're opening up to your failures and you're accepting, and that's the first step that you'll be moving forward.
Thank you, Pragya ma'am, for giving such an opportunity to speak few lines about my past experience, which I faced. Just like ups and downs, my career was just growing after my studies. It was slowly moving up and up. But after my marriage, after my family got diverted, like I have to be part of the other family, and I came to a new life. My personal responsibilities keep on increasing. So because of that, slowly I become after a daughter, I become a wife. Then I did the responsibility of a mother also. As I become a mother, my responsibility moved from moving towards my career to become a mother. It was more priority for me that time. So I have to quit my job and move to a different segment of my life. During those time, I quit my job, and slowly my responsibility towards the family increased, and my self-esteem for developing my aspect, like whatever we can say, as my name suggests, Rasmita is this person. That one slowly it was diminishing. And this diminishing process lowered down my confidence. I have to compromise, and I have to compromise. Those stages of compromise really took me down and down and down. Now, after a certain period of time, I broke all the threshold of the diminishing process and decided to again come back after my second child. I gave birth to I become a mother of 2 children. Nicely, I have grown them. I've given them fruitful time to grow, my love, my care, everything. And after a certain period of time, I just broke all my threshold limits, decided to again stand in my feet, find out my recognition, find out who am I. I have a special name in my family, my in-laws family, maybe my family and my friend circle. I was a good daughter, good, you can say good Masi, and good friend of all my surroundings. I want that one in my identity. I have lots of dream which I have thought of myself and for my society. I love to serve my society. Because
Great,
of this.
Rashmita. Thank you, Rashmita, for the details. So I would really want to say this to each one of you. When we think that we are strong enough, probably those are the times when we are breaking the most, when our self-esteem is growing down most, and when we are totally in loss of confidence. But our society has made us so that we always try to wear a mask that we are strong enough, we are confident enough, and we can handle everything. For women, it is a different aspect because they have to adjust in social environments, they have to adjust in their family environments, and many more things. But for men, it's equally difficult because the culture that we have been brought up, it is supposed to be that men are strong. You cannot shed a tear, you cannot lose your confidence, and you cannot be weak. That is one reason that behind the curtain, men are facing a lot of self-esteem issues and still have nobody to express it to. This is one platform that we have created for that, and for the people who really want to vent out whatever they are feeling, they can send their wives or kids in a different room and attend the meeting. We don't mind it. Because I totally understand you would not want to vent it out in front of your family. If you could, you would have till now. So please try to open up as much as possible. As we go forward, as you can see it on the presentation, it's a vicious circle when you get into having a low self-esteem or low confidence. I would just try to explain it a little bit to you. Most of you would already be aware of this thing, that once we start losing our confidence in one aspect, it spreads out to all other sectors of our life as well. If we feel that we are not doing good at job, or we are not doing good at our work, we also start venting that thing out on our family, and then there also we start feeling that now I'm not a good father, I'm not a good mother, I'm not a good son or brother, or so on, right? So this vicious circle of confidence breaking is something which takes you into deep valleys, which you really can't come out of at times. You really need to work so hard that you don't know where to start and which stair to climb. As you can see in this vicious circle, it can start from any of these points. It need not be that it will only start from already having a low self-esteem. Some people have gone through situations where they were the most confident brats in their colleges and corporate world and much more. But negative expectancy of people, negative situations which they faced, or the negative scenarios which came in front of them from family, from their companies, from their relatives, from their personal issues, medical issues, and much more. They started and went to and they just entered the circle from there. Whereas it can also come from people who did not want to put too much of efforts into any work, or they had high levels of anxieties, and that's where, when they could not perform, that's when the whole circle of low self-esteem started. So as you can see different points, any of these points can be an entry point for you. But the final level where it reaches is having a low self-esteem. Now, it becomes very important for us to first analyze, understand what is the level of low self-esteem are we facing. Which means we can be at a very starter level, wherein when we start doing any work, the first thing that comes to our mind is, oh, will I be able to do it? Am I even capable of doing it? What will be the result? And much more. You can be a median level where when you want to start a particular work, you would feel, maybe I can start it, but what if I get lots of problems? What if the previous things which have happened can come again? What if I face the same issues again? What if the negativity will start again? That's the mediocre level. And then comes the highest level of low self-esteem, when you really don't want to get into anything because of the previous fears you have developed. It can even lead to situations where you're feeling depressed, you're feeling low, where you really don't want to meet people, or you just don't want to do anything in your life. Nowadays, one of these things is something which is seen prominently in students. Because of the high pressure of studies, they are facing this issue. If you go to people working in corporates or high mind investing jobs, they are facing this kind of a stress. They are facing this kind of environment around them when they are always in a competitive environment, and somebody or the other around them is trying to force this low self-esteem issue on them. It can be forced, yes, by the environment around us, by the people around us, by the expectations they put around us. And it can only be broken by a particular path that you follow. But before we go on to that, I really want to ask you people, at which level of low self-esteem do you feel you are? Please chat your answers in the chat box. And I would really request each one of you to take part in this chat so that we know where you are, where we need to take you next. Till the time you answer, we'll not be able to do anything about it. Please write down in the chat box and open up about the problems that you're facing.
Can you repeat? Your voice is a little lagging.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, Vandan, is that as I told, 3 levels of low self-esteem. First being when you try to do some things, but you still try to back up a little bit. You don't want to enter it that easily. Mediocre level, wherein you want to start something, you do start something, but you have so much of anxiety and stress in your mind that you will face the same issues that which you always have or which you have faced in the past, and that's the reason that you don't want to start anything. And the third level is you are already at that threshold or that higher level of low self-esteem that you feel that you're not capable enough, or you're not important enough for anybody, you're not capable enough to do anything, and you really can't start anything new, and you don't know where to take the next step. So which level of this low self-esteem are you guys in? And trust me, if you are here to attend this session, there is something or the other which each one of you have faced. That is why when you read the word confidence booster, you have come here. So please try and open up. We are here for you. So we have got people at first level. Good. A lot of people are at the first level. Great. Second level, Deepika. Good. Out of 17 people, I have only got 5 answers. Great. Okay. So as we have got few answers, most of the people are saying that they are at the first or the second level, which is a great thing. Because till the time you have not reached that threshold, you still have a lot that you can do to build up your confidence back. And we are going to give you some pointers. After that, we will be having an open discussion with all of you on the problems which you have been facing. Let me first give you a few pointers on how you can improve on your confidence level. For that, I would request Mr. Rahul to give you the details on that.
Okay. Now that we have got a few inputs with regard to the challenges that people are facing. One second. Yeah. So what I'll be doing now is we have the broad list of things that you're doing, the challenges that you're facing, where you're facing or finding your confidence to be low. What I'll be doing is sharing with you a few inputs with regard to 3 aspects where we are classifying how and where we can build our confidence and where to start. So here there'll be 3 aspects where we are talking of first level being the awareness, because somewhere we have got our underlying belief that we cannot do a certain thing in a certain way, and that's where is a limiting factor. The second thing is what we talk to ourselves. That's the world that is there within us. And the final thing is the factors which are beyond us, the things which are external to us, and that's where what we can do to those aspects such that we can rebuild our confidence. So let me begin with the first thing. On the first aspect, let me ask you all, how many of you all remember what you were as a child? While you were a child, how many of you all could accomplish the things that you had started with? Maybe riding a bike, or going to your school, or writing your exams, or wherever you began. Just ask yourself, were you able to accomplish those things? Now let me all ask you, were you able to accomplish? Can I have a yes or no in a chat? With whatever little things that you did while you were young, while you were a child, the things that you did, you could do, or there were challenges in that. Eventually, I believe every one of you all would have accomplished everything that you started with. But the challenge today, and as you have grown in your age, is that doubt creeps in. And that's when we have doubt in our minds, we start limiting our actions. So there are 2 aspects which we need to look at here. Initially, as a kid, fear didn't paralyze us. We didn't fear failure. One of the biggest understanding that I learned from over these past years is the fact that the challenge is not trying to win. The challenge is how you're able to respond to when you're facing fear. You have to let go of the fears which are there. So there's a famous saying, confidence comes not from being right. It comes from the fact that you don't fear losing. So like we all talked about, different people giving different answers with regard to what they are finding their confidence low on. One thing was we had stage fear. Rohan said stage fear. Deepika said stage fear. We had factors like others' opinion mattering to us. So in the things that we are trying to accomplish, or the things that we're trying to do, the things that others' opinion is, or the situation, what will be the outcome of it, are fearing us and limiting us. And that's where we need to first change the outset mindset that we have, that when we are doing things, don't look at the result. Look at what you're doing. Like as a child, you didn't fear whether you fell down from a bicycle. You didn't fear whether you'll drown in the pool. You never did, but you eventually got into the pool. You didn't fear that. The fear was there, but it didn't stop you from action. That's one of the most important things that we need to learn for ourselves, is the fact that as a child, you yourself had your own experiences of the past. In the past, in everything that you were able to do or accomplish, you were able to do is because you didn't let the fear stop you. You didn't let doubts creep into you. And even if there were doubts, you still acted upon it. And as more you acted, you were able to accomplish everything that you got into. So that's one of the important things that we need to bring into awareness is, don't let fear stop you and keep acting. The more you keep acting on things, the more you will accomplish. That's when I move to the next part of check your self-talk. What is it that you're talking to yourself? So there's a famous painter, Vincent. So there's a famous international painter who said, if you have a voice within you which says you can't paint, then he says you must paint, and you must make sure that voice is silenced. Within each one of us, there's a voice. There's a silent voice within each one of us which keeps speaking to us in everything that you do. Like you said, you fear public or stage fear. You have a stage fright going onto the stage. So before you're going onto the stage, your mind will always keep telling you, you can't do this. You'll fail. People will laugh at you. These are things that come into our mind. This is something that our mind is saying to us. Everything that you're trying to do before you're doing, this is the talk that is there within us, and that is what has to change. And for that to change, you have to start acting. The more you act, the more courage you show, and the more you do things, this voice will change. And you have to force upon yourself that anything that you're doing, let that voice command be under your control. So when you're going to the stage next time, Begin with the talk. I can do it. I'll be able to do it. People will clap after I speak. And that's what has to get into your mind. And when you are in control of what your mind says to you, you will be in charge of your life. And to top that up, always I have this one practice. So before I began with this session or the last Saturday session, I always had that fear in me. I was low on confidence with regard to, will people turn out? How will they like our sessions? Will they respond in a positive way? Will they learn from our sessions? Will they like us? But what I did right before the session began at 9:30, 9:25, I closed my eyes and just imagine the people responding to the session and how they're coming on. They are learning from the session. They are enjoying the session. They're liking the inputs. That imagination into my visual mind, the more I think and visualize that thing, is what creates my reality. That is what we have to empower, and we have to force upon our mind of how we are thinking and actually superimposing over our minds of what can be the reality. And that's how you will be learning. That's how you need to start with 3 things with regard to your self-talk. You need to start visualizing. You need to start having positive self-talk with what you're saying to yourself. Once you're in charge of this, it won't begin immediately. It won't start and make a big difference to your confidence right away. But as you do it day in and day out, you'll start seeing the change within you. You'll start finding that positivity because you're making a positive conscious choice. When people often say, what is subconscious mind? It is something that you can't control. But how did it form? How did the subconscious form? It's what you let your mind enter into you over a period of time. And that's where at this point in time, you can begin by making a choice to let positive things get into you. Let positive reinforcement, let positive visuals get into you. When you fear before going onto the stage that you are trembling, you're fearing, you're going blank in your mind, you're reinforcing your subconscious mind to act in that way at that point in time. And that is what needs to change. So the more positive reinforcement you give to yourself is where the world will change for you. These are small 2 actions which once you start enforcing them over time, they'll start acting upon you and how you are able to deliver or be confident in the things that you're doing. That brings me to the last part of it. There's something called as reverse engineering. There's something we often say, when I'm not confident, how will I look? I look like this. I can't show you a body posture at this point in time, but always remember, when you're not confident, look at the posture that you have. And when you're confident, how is it? You have your head side, you have your shoulders back upright, you have your spine upright. And that is what changes. So now in reverse engineering, the thing that works is we need to start working on the external aspect of our body. And the way we sit, the way we smile, the way we look up to people. Those are things that reinforce our subconscious mind that we are confident. This is the reverse way of going on building confidence. So the more you force upon your physical body language, the more it will impact your mind and it will start becoming confident. Like if you're not going to offices today, still make sure you're getting up in the morning, freshening up, wear good clothes, get ready. The more you do that, it reinforces your mind that you are in control of the situation. Rather than the situation is COVID-19 on, everything is doomed and everything is out of place. And equally, I'm just responding to that. That is what needs to change. Once you start enforcing your physical body language in a positive way, it starts impacting your mind. And then one important aspect of self-doubt is the fact that it is all brewing in your own mind. When was the last time you had your doubt with your capabilities, your abilities to do things, and you went on to talk to your friend? What would your friend say? You are saying you can't do it. You have done it in the past. You have done it so well, so many times. You have accomplished so much in your life. So whenever you have doubts, when you go to people who know you, they'll start reinforcing the positivity in you. Because what happens is that when you are there in a world within our own minds, the biggest challenge is that we are so critical in our mind that we often become so critical that we are doomed into the negative loop. And that's where you need to start talking to people about your doubts. If you doubt that you are not able to do something well, like we had fear of opinions of people. or we had fear of going to stage and talking, or we have fears of getting into a relationship. So things like that, where when you start talking to people about your doubts, your reservations, the challenges that you're facing, that is when you will be reinforced with the fact that it's not that hard. You're just being too critical on yourself. And that is where things will change. So that positivity will come from outside when you start pouring out your thought process beyond yourself. And the last and final thing is you have to choose to be surrounded with positive people. One of the biggest things that bogs everyone down, puts our energies or drains our energies from us is the fact of the people that we are surrounded with. We need to make sure that we are surrounded with positive people. I would agree that sometimes we are in a situation where we don't have a choice of whom we are surrounded with. But to make sure of the percentage of time that we are surrounded with, we have to reduce that. Sometimes we have our family members who are negative, who are always critical, who are always doubt our abilities to do things. But that's, I'm sorry, am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So that's when you need to start working on the people that you're surrounding with. So as an example, I always told people, when you have a glass of water and you put lemonade in it, if it becomes a little more sour than what you wanted it to be, or becomes more sour than expected, what would you do? You would add more water to it, right? That is what we have to do. When we're surrounded with sourness, when you're surrounded with negative people, you just have to make sure that you take your energies out of that environment. And that's what we have to do. We have to add positive people. If you don't have people, surround yourself with books. Surround yourself with videos of positive people who are sharing positive thoughts. And that's where you become positive. That's where the world starts changing, because when you're surrounded with positive people, your outlook turns to be positive. And once you are positive, you'll start attracting more positive people. So these are three elements where I think we need to start building our awareness that nothing is permanent, the failures are a part of it, and that actions need to be taken to face or build over anything. The second part is what the world within us is, how we are able to control it, how we are able to talk to ourselves, and finally the world which is outside us. There are times we will not be able to control that environment, but still we can choose what we are surrounded with. These are three aspects in which we can build and rebuild our confidence levels and start taking control of our own lives. Because eventually the confidence is what drives our own lives. Without confidence, I am always reminded of a quote by Henry Ford. It was said over a century back, and it still holds its value in pure sense today. He said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're always right. I repeat, whether you think you can or you can't, you're always right. That is what confidence is about. When you believe that you are confident, you are believing in yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. No talent or no limitation of any resources can stop you. If you believe, you have the confidence within yourself, the belief in your abilities and your capabilities, you can learn and accomplish anything. That is where the journey begins. And that is where half the journey is won, half the battle is won, when you begin with confidence, when you believe in yourself. So with that, I would just like to give it back to Pragya, and I'll come back to more question and answers as and when we move forward.
So I hope all of you got something for yourself according to your age brackets, experiences, and exposures from what Rahul told about. Now, as we need to brief, there's something very important which I wanted to say. We cannot always compare experiences or confidence levels or situations of people on the same level. Because, as Rahul said, the people we are surrounded with, the situations that we have faced, or the experience that we have had are all so varied that we can't put them in one box. But we always have something or the other to learn from others' experiences, from how they jumped back to their confidence, how they achieved and came back from their failures, And that is what the whole session from now on will be about. But before I do that, there is a very interesting thing which I want you all to do. And for that, you will have to turn on your cameras first.
Can we have all the cameras on?
Can we have all the cameras on, please? Great. So, Neha, can you also please switch on your camera? And I have Shrujana Vanshini. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. It's Shrujana Vanshini. Sorry. Yes. Can you please switch on your video? Great. So we have a very small activity that we do in our regular sessions when we go outdoors, but we'll try to do it here as well. I'll ask you to do something, and you have to do it. First, raise your hand and do it. Okay? I'll tell who has to do it. First, raise your hand. I would want one person to just shout out loud. Please raise your hand who wants to do it. I want one person to just shout out loud like a kid maybe. I really want hands up soon. Who would want to do it? Yusuf and Rahul, can you please also switch on your videos? Nobody is spared from our terror. You should remember once you're gone from the session. Okay. May I know who all have raised the names, because I am not able to see it here. Okay. Okay. So we have three names: Deepika, Mr. JP Mishra, and Rashmita.
So Pragya, any brownie points for this?
So I would want Swati Naveen to do this for me. Please switch on your audio.
Yes.
I can't listen. Yeah.
Please once again you say what I want to do.
I'm sorry. Activity. Yeah. So the activity is quite simple.
What is the activity?
I want you to shout out loud like a kid. If your kids are sleeping, you can be a little low. No problem.
No issues. Amma, my son will shout like this only.
Great. No problem.
Okay.
The next activity is, I want one person to jump around like a small kid. Who has raised hand?
Rashmita and JP.
Okay.
Deepika.
Okay. So I would want Hari to do it.
Actually, I have to close the door. Give me a minute.
Sorry?
Yes.
No problem. You can close it.
Is that what you're told to do?
I want you to jump around like a kid. Suppose a kid who has got a chocolate and he jumps around.
Is that right?
Great. Now, there's a very specific reason why we make you all do these kind of activities when we are in our live sessions. And I will also tell the reason why I did not select the people who have raised their hands. A simple reason to that. I'm really sorry, Mr. JP Mishra, Deepika, and Rashmita. I know you were raising your hands, but the whole purpose of doing this activity is quite simple. The people who are not raising their hands still have some kind of a loss of confidence in doing things, whatever comes their way. And that's the reason we wanted to bombard them with something which they are not sure of what is going to come. That's one thing which we follow in our sessions. Try to raise as much as you can. Try to raise your hands. Not because that we will not be giving you activities. We might give you. You never know when what's going to come. But till the time you have the confidence to face whatever is coming your way, how would you move forward in things where you have all the limitations around you? These are quite simple activities which we might be giving you online. if you didn't have confidence to just go through basic things in your life, how would you raise up to yourself? How would you increase your self-esteem and come to the level where you're okay to at least try over things? So as Mr. Rahul said, you need to control here. And for this control, it's important to stand up first. Now, our session is open to people and there's a specific purpose to it. We would want at least, I will try to go to each one of you to share your experience of a problem that you faced and how you gained back your confidence from it, how you came out of it. And I would request each one of you to please listen to each of these people very carefully. The reason is, over here, we are just me and Mr. Rahul, 2 experiences. But now you're open to 16 more experiences around you from different age brackets, different exposures, and different scenarios that they have faced. You will get some answers to all of the questions that you have in your mind from these people. So we'll first start with Mr. Yusuf. Mr. Yusuf, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So please tell me what I have to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Yusuf, it's quite
Hello.
simple. You have to share one problem which you have faced where you felt that your confidence is lost and how you try to get back to your confidence.
Okay. When I was in my college life, actually, tell you very frankly, I was not so confident if it comes to talking to girl or if it comes to, talking to anybody. So I was not, I was very shy kind of person. But one day it happened to me that one girl, told me that, sit here. And that day I realized that, oh, I have something. So why did that girl offer me to sit? So then, I overcome. I thought that okay, I should not feel so nervous and so, what I'll say that I should have high self-esteem about myself. So I should at first I should believe in myself, and then everybody will believe in me. But that to talk to unknown people, that my that is the thing that I scared of. But still now I also scared of. I know how to sort out this problem.
Okay, so let's start with the
Pragya, you're on mute.
Okay, so let's make this activity a little more interesting. I'll open up the platform for everybody one by one to ask any problem which they have faced. And I would want somebody from these 16 people to try and provide a solution to that particular problem according to what they feel is right. And we will try to provide at least 2 solutions if we get time. Right? So first I would want to go for Akash.
Hello.
Hi Akash. So I would want, okay, first you can ask your question or a problem which you are facing regarding a loss of confidence.
Actually, I would rather prefer to give a solution rather than sharing my problem.
Okay, no problem. So is there anybody else who wants to tell us a problem and look for a solution for that?
JP Mishra sir.
Okay, so JP Mishra sir, please.
Yeah. My voice is, hope it is clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm giving a simple problem which actually I have faced during my career. Of course, I came out of the problem, but just for the sharing knowledge from others, I'm sharing this. Suppose you are suppose you are a good person and still somebody forces you to resign. So the problem is, I'm giving the problem, the higher ups are asking to resign. And anybody who does not want to resign, how to come out of, what could be the solution for this? At the same, I'm saying not to leave. So anybody is willing to suggest anything?
If I may suggest, I think Rajnikant can be one person who can suggest something over this.
I think Pragya, you're reading my mind. So, Azay, I'm not very sure if the solution is very apt here, but yes, I can say I have seen some of my colleagues who are going through a similar pain in their profession, and even though they've been doing their best and giving their best shot in their work, but they've been asked to move out of the organization. So they had a discussions with the higher ups, and they were looking for some other role in the organization. Maybe that can be a better solution rather than they moving out of the organization. And it worked for that person. And in fact, that person is very happy doing that work. And over a period of time, he worked in that role. Then he moved, voluntarily he left the organization, joined elsewhere.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just to add to that. I've always come across situations like this where I believe when you said that you are being forced to do something like that, it's all about the environment that you are in. And once, if you are working in a niche area where you know your skill set and the difference that you are offering to the organization is of prime importance, that is based on an individual's experience and expertise and how he has evolved over his career. I believe if that's a situation, I understand that you wanting to be in an environment like that, like Rajnikant said, you could eventually maybe take a little time and voluntarily give up the role and look for something better where you will be valued, and that is where you can maintain your self-worth and your self-esteem. That is something that how you can work around this situation. Need not be a rebellious situation where you are going into a tiff with regard to the environment. But if a situation is arising like that, and you're in an environment where you're in a complete negative frame of mind, where people are not in a favor of you being there, I think eventually it's better for you to move out in a phased and transition manner. I would plan it out in a transition manner rather than abrupt, because sometimes we are instantly reacting to things rather than planning out on how we want to go about it. So I would respond to that in that way, J.V. Mishra sir.
Yeah, I'll be sharing.
If you're also in a situation, you also have to understand as to which level of higher management is forcing you to do that. Sometimes that also works. Because if it's the immediate managers or somebody who's just immediate senior to you might be having a tussle or a different mindset towards you, or might be preferring somebody else over you. So you can always reach out to a level higher people and make, if they know about your achievements in the company, it will be easy for you to either look out, as Mr. Rahul said, either to look out for another profile or to make it a little force, you can say, from a higher level to your manager. But won't be a very good idea, because as it goes forward, your manager would always want to pull you down. That is something which you need to balance out.
Can I share just for 1 second?
Go ahead, sir.
How I handled that particular situation. The first thing I told them, I mean, they were the group of the managers, so I told them, "Thank you very much, sir." And they got shocked, actually, shocked of their life. They have never expected. I resigned immediately. And then I told that, "Can we meet tomorrow again?" And in the meantime, one day I spoke to my higher ups, like the director of the company. And I told that on the advice of these people, I have submitted my paper. Now, what is your advice for me? So he said, "You should talk to me first." I said, "Because my boss was so and so. So I resigned. The sad part for them, I have been promoted in the same organization, and one of these two have been sacked with the notice period, with the consulting of mine, how we should phase out the person. I said, give them at least 3 months notice period, so that in the meantime they can move out and they can find out the organization. Because once we are taking somebody in, we are taking the responsibility of their life, not only with them, but the other people also. Believe me, the director of the company, now this incident is almost now 25 years. Still we are in touch. The owner of the company, as his name is Mr. JP Choksi, the owner of Gofe Group. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's a wonderful story, sir. You are a true diplomat and have an ability to navigate through situations. I believe the remaining 16 people here have a learning for a lifetime now of how they can possibly deal with situations. We have Deepika raising her hand. Go ahead, Deepika.
Yes, I want to share my little issue here. Like, I'm struggling in my life, with my own beliefs. It's not the outer part, just my own beliefs. I have lots of confidence and lots of motivational power with me, but from inner side. When I got an opportunity to speak out in front of people, I don't know where it lost or vanished. I have nothing to say, and continuously I deal with this problem. What happened to me? I never understand. And when I talk to myself, I regain that power. I regain my confidence and lots of motivational power. And I always motivate myself, and I always believe I am confident. But when the opportunity is come and I want to express, there is nothing happen. This is my issue.
I feel Rashmita can be a very good, can give answer to this thing, because I had Rashmita Jaina, because I recently had a talk with her on the same kind of issue which she was facing post her kids and related to her people around. So Rashmita, what do you want to tell her?
Yes. So what I would like to tell about this problem is, like, we have to mentally think like, yes, we have to speak, and when we are standing in front of the stage, we should ignore everything. If you are getting fear of that, just focus on somewhere where no, you cannot see anyone. Simply you are looking at the sky, or simply you are looking to your favorable one, like the one you love most, maybe your friend, maybe your family member to whom you love most. Just you are interacting with them. Just you forget about the audience, maybe 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, it may be hundreds. Just ignore all the people and just keep one picture in the mind to whom you love a lot. It then just feel like you are speaking to that person and speak. Then you will definitely roll back to your confidence. I'm not able to hear Pragya. I don't know why. Completely I lost the sound.
No problem, no problem. Thank you, Rashmita, for your suggestion. Deepika, there are a few points which I would want to add to it. As women, we face a lot of issues when we have to deal people around us. The reason for that is that we always keep an upper part for the people whom we are surrounded with. Maybe our kids, our family, our in-laws, our relatives, and much more. Am I audible? Okay.
Well, now?
Yeah, it is clear now, Pragya.
Great. So Deepika, there are just few points which I want to add is, when as women we face so many issues of confidence and gaining re-confidence, is because we have a lot of valuable people around us whom we always keep on the upper hand and we give preference to them. You always try to gain your confidence is what I get from your problem. But there are also things surrounding you which are always there in the back of your mind. That is one reason that you keep breaking of your confidence part. There are a few points which I would want to tell you over this. First thing is, please understand there is something called me time, and you know that's term specifically have been put for women, but I think it is applicable for everybody in current scenario. So this me time or me value is what I call it. Is you need to have a particular, if you have 100% from where you have to decide, at least 30-40% has to be the me. If you give this 30-40% also, you will frankly be always in this loop of confidence breaking. There will be always other people who will be influencing your confidence, your thought process, your decisions, and your value of yourself. You would never want to give defining your value to somebody else. That's what I would say. As women, although we have been taught to do that, but that's not right for anybody, be it women or men. Second thing which you need to do is you need to understand your priorities and do not always give these priorities to either your kids or husband or anybody else. A small scenario, maybe people who have kids who are already settled can very well understand it. This is the time when maybe if you have younger kids or teens or a little higher aged kids, after a few years they'll be settled with their own life, and then you will have even a bigger gap, and that will make you break more in your confidence, because then you will feel that what did I do in these years. This is something which I'm already facing when I have a 6-year-old, and that is the reason that I decided to come up with these online sessions, so that I can help people who are facing the same issue to come out of that same scenario. Now just think, you were sitting here for last at least 45 minutes, but you were here. You were thinking about yourself. You were thinking about how you can develop yourself, right? Everybody of you who's sitting here. Did the world change? Was there a blast in the house? No, right? Things were going fine. It's just that we as people take so much of responsibility, or we assume that all the responsibility is on our shoulders, that we think that if you're not there, or if we don't do this, thing will not happen. But trust me, they do. They did when you were not around. They will do if you're not around, or if you're not giving your 100% time there. But if you do, you yourself will not be anywhere around. You'll be broken after a point of time, and you'll not be able to share it to anybody, because you will not be able to explain them that you were the reason, because they were not. It was just you giving priority to everything else. So if you want to be confident, just do one thing. Every morning when you get up, just read it in your mind, or if you want, I can give you my WhatsApp number, message it to me every single morning. I am important first to myself, then other things are important. Try this for next 7 days and see the difference what you will feel in your confidence. If you feel you need to leave a few works, leave it. It's fine. They can be done after 1 hour. Only do your priority works which are real priorities, like giving food to your kids or something. But if you feel that picking a cloth from here and keeping it to somewhere else is not important right now, I want to rest, do it. And this is something which I would suggest to everybody. Take out those 2 minutes in the morning and tell yourself, I am important, or message it to me. I'm all open to it. Right. So who else would want to share their problem? I think this would be maybe the last problem. Other than that, if there's anybody else, we can always share it on the group, or you can message me personally. Anybody else who wants to do it?
Okay, if you have any questions the things that we have shared, you can just ask right now. You can just switch on your videos and ask, or you can chat in the chat box. We'll be happy to respond to that. Because I think we're already way ahead of time. We are already in live for over 1 hour 15 minutes now. So I think it's when people have given a commitment of 45 minutes to 1 hour for a session, and you are sitting there for 1.5 hours, I think somebody might be pinching you from behind. If you have any questions, go ahead for anything that you have asked. how to deal with difficult people at work. I think that's an interesting question. As I said, it's the choice of what you let go in within yourself. I've always had people, tough people around me who have challenged me, who have been critical of the things that I want to do, but always understood, like the clothes that we wear and the way we drop them off once they are soiled, or change the clothes the next day, we should not let things get into our minds. That is where we need to maintain our positivity. And like I told, you need to keep adding positivity to your life. The more you can distance yourself from negative people, the better. Where you have no choice, I understand work-wise you do not have that choice always, but the lesser you interact with those people, the better it is for you, and keep adding positive people. That's how I've been able to always sustain through difficult people, because eventually it's a choice that we are making in whom we are trying to be surrounded with, and the positive people will get the positive results out of us. JP Mishra, sir, you had a question?
Actually,
yes, sir.
The same point actually which she was facing, the same thing actually I was facing when I started my career as a medical rep. That I was reading well and then I was unable to speak in front of the others. So there is one suggestion came from one doctor, share so that it will help to all people. The doctor replied that whatever I know, the listener is not knowing. So if I do like this, I can speak with in confidence with the audience or the doctor. So similarly, if she can have in this mind, in her mind, Deepika can have this in mind. Whatever she is speaking, if she rehearses at home in front of the mirror, and then impromptu, whatever the question comes, either reply the answer or make a note of it. This small point actually has helped me a lot in my life. So you can try it out, the rehearsing in front of the mirror, and feel that whatever you know, the other person does not know anything. And whenever you talk to the people, see straight into the eyes of the people. That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and Deepika, one more point to add to it is, when you want to speak on public platforms, it's very important that you first try to organize your speech in your mind, because if you're not organized, you would always have the fear that I'll forget something, and that is one reason because of which that the fear of coming on stage or speaking in front of people arises from. So have limited points that you want to speak and keep them in your mind, that this is how I want to speak one after the other. That way you'll be more organized and more confident about it. And second reason because of which this confidence breaks is that what will people say about me? So when you're going to speak what you want to tell. Don't decide on what people would be thinking about you. I think these 2 points, if you keep in mind, you will always be more confident than what you're now to speak in front of people.
One thing that can help you, Deepika, at this point in time is that the Saturday sessions that we are having, the Speak Up Club sessions that we are having, you can keep coming into those sessions and start practicing the impromptu speeches. Or if you have any prepared speech or have a short speech in mind, we are happy to give you the stage and help you build the confidence. I believe in that way, you would be able to have a prepared speech and use this platform to build your confidence. I believe that's the least that we can do at this point in time. And with that, I think it's time to sign off today's session. And if you can all switch on your videos, I can take a photo for the records, and we'll be sharing that photo in the Speak Up Club. I hope everyone is there in the Speak Up Club WhatsApp group that we have. If you're not there, you can just WhatsApp me, and do share, like I told last time, do share your feedback on the Speak Up Club so that others are motivated to join the session. I think I'm disconnected. I'm disconnected.
Hello.
Is everyone there?
Yeah, I would like to say something. Hello.
Yeah, sure, Akash, go ahead.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, like today we are. Hello.
Akash, maybe you can
Hello.
switch off your video and then speak. At times it works.
Yeah, now am I audible?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, today as
Yeah,
we were speaking, as we always speaking about confidence, I believe that when you have the subject knowledge about something or anything, so you're more confident and you will go up and speak. Fear will not stop you. I would like to know your opinion. Like when you have the subject knowledge, there is nothing fear. You're already confident and you
Akash, I would like to respond to that. Akash and me have been a Toastmaster at one point in time. We were there together at the same point in time. One thing that I would like to add here is that content is always the king. I agree. But the fact of the matter is, public speaking is a skill in itself. Even the best of people who have the best of knowledge. Today, as an example, there could be the world's best surgeon who's there. If you ask him to make a presentation in front of, let alone 500 people, if you ask him to make a presentation or give a speech in front of 50 people, he may or may not be able to do that. Because that's a skill, that's a different skill altogether of how you can deliver a great speech or a great presentation in front of a crowd. That's a different skill. That's the reason I wanted to respond to Deepika as well, wherein she might be having the content, she might be having the ideas before she goes on to the play. But once you are on that platform, once you're there on that stage, it's a different person altogether who takes over. And like any other skill, I believe this skill of public speaking, the development of that is very important. Unlike just having a knowledge and just going and saying it, sitting by your friend, you could very well easily be able to speak what you're thinking. But the same thing, the same friend, if he's in front of you in a crowd, it may be pretty tough. So there's an entire workshop that we do on public speaking development. That's for another day. But it's a skill that is required, and it's a skill that needs to be developed. We often think, like we think of swimming, like it's just jumping into the water and moving your hands, right? But no, it has a whole lot of skills that are required to be developed. And equally in public speaking, there's a whole lot of skills that you need to develop and you need to start executing them. And that's when you learn and become a public speaker. So,
just give me. Okay, I'll just take 1 minute more for we have Akanksha and we have Vandan. So I would just from you. Most of the people over here are either working or they're in some part of job cycle. But both of you are students, as far as I understand. Right, Akanksha?
Yes.
So is there any specific kind of problem which you people face in your confidence related to your studies, scoring, marks, anything?
Less appreciation?
Akansha. Less appreciation, you said.
Less appreciation, you said.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Hello?
Akanksha, can you please repeat again? Sorry.
Less appreciation.
Less appreciation. So this less appreciation part is from your parents' side or your friend's side or your teacher's side is what I want to know.
Maybe everyone.
Okay. So I'll just give you a little tip on that. That Akanksha, everybody has their expectations from what they want you to, how much they want to score, and how they want you to behave or act according to your age. That's what is commonly heard, right? It's very important for you to decide how much of it are you able to take. It should not become a stress on you. it should not go overboard for others as well, because they have built some expectations over you. Although we say that expectation is something which kills, but you can't give a break to it, right? Either it's from friends, family, or teachers. When it comes to teachers, they are tuned to have expectations with you. That's their job. So you can leave that part aside. It's on you how much you can do it. When it comes to parents, because they're investing, or they have done so much of you, is what you must be hearing a lot of time. They have some expectations on you, on kids. So I would also say to Vandan, if he's hearing, they have some expectations on you which you to some extent have to follow, but try to explain yourself to them as to how much can you do about it. And when it comes to friends, please understand you are the decider of your future, your life, what you want to do, what you like, what you don't like. They are friends. Just be there with your good and bad times. But if you are not there, if they are not there with you in your bad times, there's no point taking their expectations on you. Okay? So when it is about less appreciation, people might not appreciate you because you are not trying to fulfill their expectations. So what should matter to you is not others' appreciation, but how you can appreciate yourself, of how you are improving every single day, right? So with this, I suppose we come to an end of the session today, and I'm really happy that all of you were attending the whole session, although it was a little longer than what it was expected to be. But I really hope all of you have got something new added into your dictionary of answers. And if you can all switch on your videos, we'll have a group pic which we can send on the WhatsApp group and upload on our Living Life page. Please do go and tag yourself there. It would be great. And if you have friends and family who are looking for personal coaching, counseling, or personal sessions on communication skills and public skills development, if they're facing any personal issues which we want to discuss with us on counseling sessions, you can always get back to either the Speak Up group, or you can have my number. I'll post it in the chat. And please do write your reviews. Last time we were eagerly waiting to see your reviews over there, but we were quite sad that we didn't get any. So please try, just take out 1 minute of your precious time and do write your reviews on our FB page as well.
Deepika and Akash, can you switch on your videos for a second?
Okay.
With that, I would just like to close today's session and again sharing the links for our social media, social pages that we have, and you can search for us at. You can search for us with the hashtag I am living life on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. You can follow us there for all our ideas and programs that we do. We post a lot of content over there as well. So it'll be great to have you follow us there. So with that, just closing the session for today. Thank you. It was really nice for having you all today, and it was a great session. Thank you.
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Pragya.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And all the attendees.
We can't hear
Thank
you. Swamil, we can't hear you.
Thank you very much.
Session was awesome.
To both of you, and
Thank you very much
to organize a wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a great session.